Hello, my name is Ben.
And my name is Josh.
And welcome back to FPLGraduates. How are we feeling, Josh? We're online today.
It's different surroundings. It's weird us not being together, but we've got to make the most of it.
Yeah, let's introduce our guest anyway. We've got Glen on. Let's add him to the stream now. Here he is, Glen. Welcome. Thank you for coming on for the special FPLGraduates video here.
Thank you for having me. Isn't it fitting that I came on last, just like my team? It's just fitting, literally fitting. I came on just like my team, last place. So yeah, thank you for having me for your first stream, I think. So yeah, happy to be here.
Well, you're here now, and make sure to check out all of Glen's socials. We've left it in the description. Twitter, YouTube. He does a lot of YouTube videos with his beloved Arsenal. So please go and show him a little bit of support. He's in desperate times at the moment.
Yeah. Emotional support.
Yeah, so basically what we're going to do, it's going to be like a game week review and FPL Friday all bashed into one. It's going to be a great little thing to do. So we're going to run down our previous game weeks. Obviously, we've all been ups and downs this week for all of us. Obviously, Ben's getting most of the ups. We're getting a lot of the downs, me and Glen. But yeah, so Ben, if you want to bring up the first screen now, first team, sorry.
I'll bring up our guest screen. I'll bring up Glen's team first.
Now
here we go. Hopefully, it should all be working all right.
Yeah.
So Glen got 38 points, as you can see there. And Glen, talk us through how your team went.
Did you have to put it on screen for everyone to see? But yeah, my sub for the week was Vestergaard. I'll try and figure out who I took out for him. The thing is, this is how it happened. I actually brought in Vestergaard. I didn't actually remember I have a Southampton goalkeeper with me. I only remembered after I had made this up because I usually don't like doubling up on defenders. So it worked out okay. I think also Ben had like Southampton players. So that game, they never looked like they would score. That is Sheffield. So I was comfortable with that. He had so many chances to score. So it could have been more than 7 points. Lewis, I mean, I just have Lewis because of his price. And because I think his fixtures are kind of nice. But since he was subbed off last time out, I think he's not going to play anymore. Ailing, Bellerin, obviously heartbroken the way they conceded both teams. Son and Kane, happy to have them back in my team. Last week I played a free hit and I missed both of them. Their points all against Arsenal, and that damaged my ranking badly. So happy to have them both in my team. Wilson, I expected more against West Brom to be fair, and he actually had the assist before the assist, I think, for both goals. Very, very heartbreaking. Again, Calvert-Lewin could have had 2 assists against Chelsea if the second penalty stood. I was happy with 1 assist against Chelsea. Didn't expect him to win the game, so that was okay. Grealish, also him, had so many chances in that game, could have scored against Wolves. So many assists that were fluffed by the strikers and stuff. And Aubameyang. He scored. He did score a goal. But wrong post. We should try and make FPL like give points even for own goals, because it's still a goal. If you can't score on the other side, you can still score on the other side. It's still a goal. So maybe give them 2 points for that. It was very damaging. The only positive was like he wasn't a defender, and have like a -1 or 2. So I was happy with that. On the bench, Target again. I think this is the 4th time I'm having him on the bench for a clean sheet. Very, very tough to take. But 38 points, as you said, the bender was very, very damaging for me. I dropped from 400k to 1.5 million. That is, wow, 1 million places dropped in one game week. And I had 38 points, and that is because of probably captaining Aubameyang, so that was damaging.
Wow. That's an absolute savage week, isn't it, Josh?
Yeah.
Not ideal. It's not as bad as me, though, in terms of the rank. I'm having an absolute stinker this season.
Oh,
so bad.
Well, that leads us on nicely.
We'll build it up. We'll build it up, you know?
We'll build it up. We'll definitely build it up. Now, Josh, talk us through your team. 51 points this week. Where did it go well and where did it go wrong?
So 51 points, you look at it, average score, you think, all right, not too bad, not the worst. But I took a -8 before this week. My wild card this season was such a terrible idea. The wild card team, the team I had before my wild card would have definitely done better than what my wild card team has done. So I took a -8. I needed Son in because Jota got injured. That was late news. So I took a -8. I just went for it. So I brought in Son, I brought in Giroud, and I brought in Gabriel. I took out Cancelo, I took out Jota, and I took out Jesus to afford it. And it weren't too bad. The biggest mistake of the week is obviously benching Bednarek. I don't think you can see him on screen, but I have Bednarek on the bench, 12-pointer. Second highest scorer of my team this week, other than Vardy. If he comes on, it's almost pace for the -8 in a way. It was annoying because I know like Reece James hit the post. Gabriel, Arsenal should never have probably conceded in that game. So if they both returned, I wouldn't have been as mad. But when you look at it, if I was going to take a defender out, I was thinking about it obviously because Sheffield United's such a good fixture. It was going to be Cresswell, but he got.
I think we just lost Josh's audio there.
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah, we've lost Josh's audio. I'm not sure what's going on there, but we can't hear Josh at the moment. Technical difficulties. Yeah. It's the first week. I think he'll be sorting it out, but yeah, a frustrating week probably for Josh. Glenn, what do you make of his team this week?
I was quite surprised when I saw he brought in Giroud. I was quite surprised with that because I wasn't even sure he was going to start. So for him to start is actually a positive for him. Let me see. I think I'd actually agree with him in terms of playing the wildcard. I also think I played my wildcard wrongly. I'm surprised he doesn't have Kane, but Vardy and Kane, I've always tried to like get Vardy and Kane in the same team at the same time, but it's always impossible. But Vardy is a player I'd like to own. I'm not sure I had Bednarek on the bench. I mean, I've had some terrible decisions, but I think this one tops it. Josh, Bednarek on the bench against Sheffield. I don't understand that one. Fernandez, Mane, all surprises to blank. James should have had a goal, to be fair. James should have had a goal or two. It was very unlucky for him. Cresswell, I had him in my FPL free hit team the previous week, did nothing, and he gave you guys an assist. So I think it's still a team that can help you going forward, but I'm quite afraid like some players are not going to play like every single game during this tough period, the likes of Giroud and maybe James at Chelsea. Most of them are going to be like rotated, so that's the thing he needs to look at.
Yeah, is Josh back? Can we?
I am back.
There he is.
I was like, the audio cut out. It's my AirPods causing me nightmares. Sorry about that. But yeah, right. I think pretty much summarised what I was saying. I've had a nightmare with Bednarek on the bench.
Should we build it up to the
main event of the evening?
The main event of the evening. Let's get it. It's a 71-point week from me. Absolutely, pretty fantastic if you ask me. The game week rank, look at the rank going up there. You love to see it. 830k.
Rubbing it in.
I've got to rub it in, lads. I've got to rub it in. I mean, it's not often that I have this many good weeks in a row. And we'll start off with the two Southampton lads. What a great call it was to bring both of them in. Probably another one where I'm rubbing it in with Josh a little bit, but you know, I've got to do it. I've got to do it.
You wait.
James Justin, a king of the week, if you ask me. 11 points, got the assist for Vardy. Absolute limbs in the FPLGraduates HQ as that goal went in, I think it's fair to say. Cresswell got an assist, lovely stuff, you know. Lost a clean sheet, but his delivery is fantastic, isn't it? Salah, captain, jam on toast, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I've seen all the Salah non-owners crying about it, and you just got to take it in. Because that's what it feels like to be a Bruno owner half the time, to be honest. Son got me a nice assist. Morris, Podence and Fernandez didn't do too much, but wasn't expecting Morris and Fernandez to get loads of points this week. DCL and Kane up front. What more can be said? They're points machines at the moment. And yeah, sums up a really fantastic week for me. And pretty decent overall.
Yeah, it looks decent, to be fair. Can't complain. You got a bit jammy with some of it, but you get that throughout the season, don't you? So not too shabby.
Yeah. Very lucky that Justin won. Very lucky that Justin picked, man. I always had him like in the first 3 games. It's always like a 1 point. And then every time I see you guys tweeting Justin points, I'm like, how lucky can Ben get every single week, man? Every single week.
Hey,
Captain Miles.
Justin was
Love
bound to
it.
get a double-digit haul at some point, so we'll take it on a week where we get 70 points anyway. We'll take it on a week we got 70 points. Should we look at moving into game week 13 now? What the plans are for you, Glenn?
Yeah, the plans are I've already made my sub anyway, and the sub is I've brought in a Man City player out of the blue. Could it be another mistake? Could it end up being another failure, like bringing in Trossard and Aubameyang? Those two picks failed me the last 4 weeks. They've actually dropped my ranking very badly. So I've brought in a City player that I think is going to play this week, and that is Bernardo Silva. I've brought in Bernardo Silva 1 week punt. I think he's going to start this game. He's been on the bench for so many games. So I think this is the game. This is the kind of game it starts. And captaincy wise, of course, Bellerin now got a red, got suspended. He's going to be suspended for the next game. So that adds more problems to my team right now. So Kane, Son, away to Liverpool, not ideal. Aubameyang still in my team at home to Southampton, not ideal again. Grealish target, I'm expecting big things from them. Ayling, nothing less than a clean sheet from him expected. Vestergaard and McCarthy away to Arsenal, nothing less than 30 points each expected from them. Against Arsenal, you need to deliver against Arsenal. So I'm caught up between starting Wilson and Kane. Who will bring in the most points? Wilson against Leeds, Kane against Liverpool. I'm very tempted to put Kane on the bench for this week, but these silly mistakes, these obvious mistakes I've been making, like following Josh to captain Gabriel Jesus when I have De Bruyne in my team, those choices have really cost me. So again, can I captain Wilson and have Kane on the bench? I don't think so. So I'm really hoping those City boys help me this week. That's Ferran Torres and Bernardo Silva. I think both of them will start this week, maybe not in the next few weeks, but I'm hoping both of them can deliver this week. So Bernardo Silva came into my team. Let me get who I brought him in for. It was James Rodriguez. Yeah.
Decent. It is interesting that you're deciding to hop on and play Pep Roulette. It's a dangerous game.
Yeah.
You know what? Shall I share what I'm looking to go into for game week 13? I may as well.
He's prime primary school teacher. This lad.
Primary school teacher. Right. So
trigger happy.
I'm very trigger happy with this. So this is what my team's looking to. I've made 3 transfers resulting in a -4 hit. So I've brought in Dallas here, Target, and I've also brought in Anguissa here, and they've come out for Mitchell, Pedence, and Kilman, just because of the fact I don't want to lose money. Their price is about to drop, and I thought taking a -4, you know what, you may as well take that on a budget. It's going to happen at some point, and I may as well get in some defenders that are playing, because over the next few weeks, I'm going to need all of these players on the bench to be playing in case one of these guys in the starting 11 gets dropped for whatever reason. So that's going to be my team going into game week 13. Fernandes captain, I think, is going to be the case for this week. It's a big call, but I don't see anyone else that I really fancy as a solid captain pick. I don't know what you think about that, Glenn. Is there any weak spots that you can see in that team going into game week 13?
Fernandes is another player I would love to own, but I can't get any enough money or enough funds for him. Weaknesses, Salah is a good pick, obviously. Son, Mahrez. Probably, I don't know, Mahrez, because it can be rotated anytime, and I think this is the game week is going to be rotated, unfortunately. But who did you say you have as the first sub this week?
So the first sub on my bench this week is Cresswell at Crystal Palace at home. I've been changing my mind every time about which defenders I want to play, because all my defenders have good fixtures. Walker Peters away at Arsenal. I know you're not going to be too happy about that, but they all have really great fixtures, and it's just trying to decide which one I think is going to concede. And I think Palace and Zaha looks quite dangerous against Spurs, so I don't particularly trust them to keep a clean sheet against a pretty decent Palace side.
I still feel like you're going to need Cresswell and Anguissa in this week. I have a feeling that between Justin, Mahrez, and even Target, at least one of them will be rotated somewhere. I feel like this week is the week they're going to be rotated, so you probably will need Cresswell this game week. But no weaknesses I can see. Fernandes is a very good captaincy choice.
Nice, love to see it. Gives me a bit more confidence going into next week. Josh, what are you saying about going into game week 13?
Yeah, so for me, it's just a simple swap. Mane out. He's let me down, to be honest, since I brought him in for Salah due to his COVID. So I brought in De Bruyne instead of Mane. Easy swap, saved me a bit of money as well, just before Mane's price went down. And also, I don't know whether to captain him. It's real 50-50 for me right now. Do I captain Bruno? Do I captain KDB? Both are phenomenal footballers. I think I'm edging just towards Bruno just because of his away performances. Like, it's almost guaranteed return. And when you can't pass up on something like that. Whereas KDB, I just don't know if I want to play Pep Roulette with my captainship this week. I know he's the most nailed, but even it'll be my luck this season for KDB to be benched against West Brom at home. It's just going to be guaranteed.
Yeah,
you can definitely see that. And should we move on into the next topic that we have, Josh?
Definitely, go for it. So to this week, this episode, FPL Tuesday, we're going to talk about like the must-have assets. Obviously, there's a lot of football being played in this like string over Christmas. Obviously, we've got like the likes of here 2 game weeks in a week. So Glenn, I'm going to ask you, name us 3 assets that you would think that you need to have in this run of fixtures. Players that aren't going to get rotated, players that you know are going to return consistently.
So this is going to be freestyle from the top of the head. I did not write anything down. But the first one that obviously comes to my head every single December is Zaha. He is going to play every single game. If he gets rotated, Crystal Palace cannot score a goal. Like, literally, they cannot score goals. So Zaha, his fixtures are pretty nice. And they're scoring goals all of a sudden. They scored 4 against Leeds. They scored 5 against West Brom. He's always returning. They have West Ham coming up, they have Aston Villa coming up, they have Sheffield United coming up, Leicester at home. So Zaha is definitely the first option. The second option, I'll talk about a team. So Chelsea's defense, any one of them, probably not James, but the centre backs, maybe Zuma, most of them. Maybe Zuma would be the one that is going to play every single game. And they also have some decent, I'd say, fixtures. He's a massive goal threat. Every time I watch Chelsea, I'm always scared when they have a corner. He always seems to like fight off the defenders and head the ball like onto the bar or something. And they have Wolves, West Ham, they have Arsenal, relegation battling teams, Aston Villa, they have City at home. That's the next 2 weeks, 5 games. I can see him keeping a couple of clean sheets there and maybe a goal or 2. So Soma is the next one. And then the third one will probably be a bit different because I feel like someone like Fernandes will still get rotated. So probably looking at Southampton. I'd go for Southampton, and my option would be Ward-Prowse. Always on set pieces, free kicks, corners. I'm sure he's going to play most of those games. I think he's played every single 90 minutes. Although the next 2 fixtures, I say 2 fixtures, but the Arsenal is part of that. After Arsenal, they have City, they have Fulham, West Ham. So Ward-Prowse would be my other option. I think he's capable of scoring, capable of getting that extra 1 point in midfield. When they keep clean sheets, always assisting. Even if he doesn't score, you'll still have like an assist somewhere from a corner. So Ward-Prowse, Zaha, and Zuma, the 3 of them.
Interesting to pick the 2 players who are one of the most transferred in of this game week. And Wilfried Zaha, as you see along the bottom, it's 215k, I think he is. So that is hugely transferred in. In terms of my must-haves, I'm going to say De Bruyne. You know, I don't have him, and I want him so badly, especially against West Brom. I think he could return massively, and it could be the week where I really regret not owning him and probably take a bit of a hit on the old world rankings. Another must-have I'd say is probably someone like I'd say Jack Grealish, but it all depends on whether Aston Villa can get back to that form that we know that they can get back to. Like, if he does that and he brings his Villa team through, then I can see him being another must-have player for the coming weeks, especially as he's so crucial to this Villa team. Everything goes through him at the moment. And I'd say a Southampton defender is almost crucial at this point. At that price point, that value, you've got to be getting one in. They're all under 5 million. They're all returning pretty much every week. So those are the 3 must-haves that I'd have anyway.
Yeah, and for me, I agree with all of your 6 picks between the pair of you. I think all of them are very good options. For me, I own Grealish, and I'm sort of going off him a bit. I feel like if you own Watkins, you can almost cover him a bit, because obviously Watkins takes penalties as well. So you see Grealish, one of the most fouled players in the Premier League. He ain't really going to pick up the slack from that. It'll be more Watkins getting the big points from it, scoring the goals if he's getting fouled in the box. But for me, my 3 picks, I'm gonna go with one of the Spurs duo of Son and Kane. I've learned that the hard way so far. I took them out of my wild card and I've paid the price, to be honest. They've returned pretty much all the time. They're almost fixture proof with the fact that they can just play so even better on the counter attack against the big teams than they do against the smaller teams in a way. So one of Son and Kane would be my first pick. Another pick, it's got to be some form of Man City attacker, but preferably Kevin De Bruyne. He's just unbelievable. He makes the City team tick, and he's like ownership's like 25%. And for Kevin De Bruyne, that is just rude. You cannot let that man have such low ownership. I'll be taking up all of that. And then my last one, it's going to be Bruno Fernandes, because this season he's playing out of his skin. If Man United score, Bruno's doing something to be a part of it. So, and especially away from home, his stats are just stupid. Like, he's got better stats than De Bruyne in the Premier League so far, since he's joined in January as well. And to put him on that pedestal, it just says a lot, to be honest, because we consider De Bruyne one of the best midfielders in the world. So both of them are almost must-haves in my opinion. Maybe even more important than having Salah.
Yeah. There's, I'd say all of our picks, you could argue a case of being must-haves in any FPL team, to be fair.
Definitely.
We'll move on to my favourite part of the show.
Here we
Glen.
go, baby.
well.
My last part of the show.
Glenn thought he could get away with it. He thought, we're going to be on an FPLGraduates live stream. They can't do that. Oh, we can, Glenn. Oh, we can.
I didn't enjoy it last time, let me tell you. It's a lot of pressure. You think you know football until you try the trivia.
He's commenting every week. He keeps a tab on it. I can see him.
Yeah.
You love it.
So we've nearly had 2 weeks in a row of beating the top score, haven't we? I believe.
Yeah, it's been FPL Don. He got 7, and then FPL Gaffer last week. We thought it was a 6. It might have been a 5 though. It was a bit of a debate in the comments. I saw
Really?
Glenn. He was like, "It needs a recount."
I mean, I didn't get the captaincy choice correct, so at least let me be in the top 3 for the quiz.
Right.
Guys,
So
whenever you're ready, mate.
Do the people who are watching know the rules though? I imagine they probably do, but if they don't, Josh,
let me just go over. So
basically,
we have loads of trivia questions. We usually do it on their team as well as FPL, but because Glenn's been on before, it's mainly about game week 12 and basically the current topics of FPL right now. So we have 60 seconds on the clock. I'll be running the timer. Ben will be asking the questions. And Glenn, hopefully, will be getting the questions right. So let's get into it right now.
Yeah, so I've got my really sophisticated sheet of questions. And
it's
Josh,
like oh god,
when
they're
you are
punishing me.
When you're ready,
I'll have it.
You'll have the timer, and
you
you just got to shout at us when it's time up. All right.
Right. Whenever you're ready, count me down.
Glenn, are you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
That's a delayed reaction, Glenn. Right.
Yeah.
All right. Ready in 3, 2, 1. Go. Who scored the most points in game week 12?
Madison.
Correct. Who is currently the highest scoring defender in FPL?
Vestergaard.
Zuma. Who is the most transferred out player this game week?
Mane.
Jota. Who has the most FPL points for Arsenal this season?
Gabriel.
Correct. How much is Emi Martinez on FPL at the time of recording?
4.9.
4.8. Name 2 defenders that had double-digit hauls this week.
Double-digit hauls. Man, this is tough. Pass. I can't remember anyone.
What is Bamford's current price?
6.7.
Incorrect. How many double-digit hauls has KDB had this season?
That was so hard.
The last question.
KDB double-digit hauls. This is a pure guess. 4.
Oh, it's 3.
Oh my goodness, that was the toughest. That was tougher than last time. That was tough.
A question.
That wasn't a question. I'm not going.
I should have remembered Benaric because he was in Josh's bench. I didn't remember.
Yeah, I mean that's it. And Justin, you should have got that one.
Yeah, we just talked about them. How many questions are those?
So you're not gonna like this, I don't think.
I don't gonna like that.
I think you got 2.
Yeah, you got 2.
Probably more than. I got 2 also.
8. I mean, they're tough questions.
Those are tough questions.
Yeah,
those are very tough questions, especially on live.
These ones.
I mean, basically, when we came on your live, you gave us some really tough questions. So what we thought we'd do is return the favour and give you some really tough ones.
That was hard. That was hard. That was harder than the last time.
Yeah,
I don't know how many questions you got last time. I think last time you asked me like 11 questions, so I was a bit slow in answering them. But yeah, that was terrible. How many did the guy Lewis have?
Oh, he got 2 as well.
Lewis got 2 as well. But he had easy questions.
The pressure is different. The pressure is different.
Yeah.
That was tough.
Shall we talk about Charlie Bradley's comment? Can you bring that up on screen, Ben?
Yeah,
he's controversial. So he said O'Connor, I think, is a better pick for a West Ham defender than Cresswell. What do you think about that, Glenn?
Well, I don't think so, but I did the show with FPL Don last week, and I was telling him Ogbonna is a very good option because it's like Zoom and Vestergaard, like every single corner and free kick is onto them. But Cresswell, free kicks, corners, I always prefer the guy who's taking set pieces and has a chance to cross the ball and all that. So I think Cresswell is still better. How many times are you going to wait for corners and stuff? So Cresswell, I think, is a better option going forward. Clean sheets. The only problem is that I feel like Cresswell is the one who's going to get rotated and not Ogbonna. The games that are coming up, I think it was Maswak who's now injured, so anyone could come in. But my choice would probably still be Cresswell.
Yeah, I just want to touch on the Cresswell situation before we move on. I think it's interesting because he's been operated as a left centre back as well as a left back, but now Masuaku's injured. Moyes has reverted to the 4 back, so he's been playing left back. So he's been getting more forward, especially against Leeds. We saw that he took the set piece. His set pieces are very good. He's up there with some of the best in the league, in my opinion. So, and from that, with a defender who can also get like clean sheet potential, it's a win-win for me.
Yeah, now it's making me think about taking him off my bench again. So that's not ideal. 20 minutes after this live stream, I'm giving myself before I sub him back in. But yeah, we'll move on anyway. We'll move on anyway to a big topic in FPL. It's the FPL Game Week 13 captain pick. I'll tell you what. We may as well get Glenn's pick for this week on the Graduates League, surely.
Yeah,
I would love that. I would love a second chance. I was asking for a second chance. Though Aubameyang
as long as you don't pick Aubameyang, I think we'll be alright.
That was more heart than head. So I think this time round I have an opportunity to correct things. My captain pick for the week. Wow, that is going to be tough. Some good fixtures. I'm targeting your captain Fernandes and Ben. I think is a good option. Liverpool Spurs, probably not very high scoring, but my option for the week, come on, man, I have to get top of the table, man. I have to go top of the table in this FPLGraduates League. And I think my option would be probably from Leeds or Liverpool. And I'm going to settle for Leeds. I'm going to go for Leeds, Patrick Bamford.
Wow.
Whoa,
that's a huge pick. That is a huge pick, you know.
Yeah. I think he's going to
Bamford,
score.
he's got Newcastle, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has Newcastle at home, and I feel like it's going to be like a 3-2 or a 4-3. So I'm hoping he scores a goal.
Ooh,
That is
interesting. I saw a
interesting.
conversion rate of Patrick Bamford at home compared to away. His conversion rate at home is something like 6% compared to away when he's on like 40%.
Yeah, I think he scored 7 of his 8 goals at away. But this is the time he's going to score at home.
I mean, he is on the game week 13 anytime goal scorer probability. I saw someone on Twitter put up a little chart thing, and it said Bamford had a 43% chance of returning this game week. So pretty high chance he's going to return. And I have to see about that one. That is probably the cheapest option that we've had on the board, maybe.
100%, I think so.
I would love if
I'll be buzzing if he gets you to the top of the table, Glenn. I'll be rubbing my hands together, loving it.
What's the highest score again? Is it like 30 something? I know it's Lewis. What do you get, like 31?
Yeah, I think it's 32 points. I think. Timo Werner, keeper captain. Very good captain. I think he got 2 goals and assist. Yeah, so really nice. Got some bonus as well. But Ben, we'll go to you. We've spoke about it briefly. But who is your go-to? Like saying the game week stopping right now. Who you putting on captain?
So what?
If you're a bit up in the air.
I'm always up in the air about my captain.
You, Bruno Mahrez. Who are you going for right now? You have to pick.
Bruno. Because I'm too scared to play Pep Roulette again. Basically, is probably the reasoning why. But look at Bruno's points away from home. He averages 7.5 points per game away from home. That is an incredible return. And since he's joined United in, when was it? It might have been, January or something? Mm-hmm. The point scoring he's on currently, if that was over the course of a season, he'd be on to get over 300 points in an FPL season, which is a record. So that just goes to show how incredible he's really been for United so far. And I think, you know what, against one of a team that's really defensively struggling, we've got to go with him.
Yeah, I agree. That stat has a juicy stat. Look, my ears are tingling. Love it.
Just eyes perking up.
Bruno, definitely. I think, although KDB at home to West Brom is an unreal pick as well, like either way, I don't think you're going to lose much out of the both, because they're both the talisman for their team. So yeah, both of them are pretty much nailed on. But other than those two, obviously we've said Patrick Bamford, but that's a bit of an outsider. Who would you go for if you didn't own KDB or Bruno? Like who? Because I know a lot of people don't.
I'd probably try and lean maybe towards someone like Danny Ings this week, or even someone like Jamie Vardy. Like either of them two picks, like whichever one you have, is probably going to be a decent pick. But yeah, other than those two standout players, there isn't too many players that you'd really say is a captainable pick this week.
Yeah, I'd have to agree, to be honest. Like, you literally, if you don't have one of those two in, it's almost like you need to take a hit to get them in, because they're going to return big. If they don't, I'll be so surprised.
Yeah, Josh, what about you? We haven't talked about your captaincy. What are you saying about it?
I think I'm on the Bruno boat. I have to admit, it's just he's away numbers. Man United away from home are a different breed compared to them at home. Like, I obviously watch every single game, so Man United away, Bruno away. If he starts, he's going to get something. Every single game week that Man United have scored in, other than game week 1, he has produced an assist or a goal within it. So those sort of numbers that you can't fault. He pretty much returns all the time. The only time he hasn't returns against Palace, Chelsea and Arsenal, where obviously United didn't score in those two. And then obviously Man City, the weekend just gone. So he's just got to return. If he doesn't, I'll be so sad.
Right, we'll go towards the differential pick of the week. Now, Glenn, who are you going for your differential?
Glen never learns about not picking players from his team. But I mean, Ben, Josh, it has to be. Pepe is back for this game. He's definitely going to start. He's on by 0.6. He's on by 0.6%. 0.6%. He's definitely going to start this game. We have a couple of players suspended, and this is the week he's going to get a goal. Pepe, you can't get more differential than that. 0.6% owned. Pepe, we've been lacking goals, and he's the guy who's going to score for us. So Pepe is my differential pick. If you're to push me totally away from Arsenal, I'd go for Bernardo Silva to Manchester City.
Fair enough. I think there's a reason he might be 0.6% owned, but
yeah, he's definitely going to start this week. He's definitely going to start on Wednesday.
At least he'll get 2 points, maybe. That's more than what Aubameyang got this weekend, just gone. So yeah, I think that's not a bad pick. Not a bad
Pepe's
pick,
going
but
to score.
I think Pepe's going to score. You mark these words. Clip that, someone.
Oh God, why do I do this? I have no idea why I always do this, man.
Yeah, so my differential of the week, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do the teacher moment again. I'm loving this sharing screen. So,
well, he just loves it.
Yeah. Right. I'm loving your team kit, though. Your team kit is, your team is all organized and stuff. Even the team kit looks very nice.
Yeah, thank you. It's Reading themed, and this is my differential of the week. Jared Bowen of West Ham United, 4.5% owned, in good form. I mean, last game week 5 points, 59 overall, and Crystal Palace at home. It's a nice fixture for him to have. He can potentially get at this Crystal Palace defence, and I think Palace will come out a lot more than they did against Spurs, and I think Bowen's got the potential to really exploit that. He's a talisman at West Ham at the moment. So, he's going to be my differential pick of the week.
Very nice. Yeah, I'll move on to mine swiftly. You're going to laugh at mine. I think mine's even more controversial than Glen's, but I'm just going to go for it for pure lols if I get this right. Because me and Ben, pretty much every week, we get the differential right between us, don't we?
Yeah, pretty much. Nearly every week. One. Yeah.
So, we're pretty good at, outside the box picks. Shame we don't pick them ourselves. But I'm going to go for Joel Linton of Newcastle against Leeds. He's returned the last 2 weeks, and Leeds have conceded third most goals in the league. I reckon he might bag an assist, maybe even a goal. Who knows? I think he's he's just, under the radar. Yeah, you can laugh at him. He didn't return all last season, whatever. He's a new man since he's playing up front with Callum Wilson. If you have Callum Wilson, it's going to be like Son and Kane between them two. It's just an unbridled partnership.
I can't believe you just compared Joe Linton and Callum Wilson.
Liam Football knows what he's on about in the chat. Have a look at that.
The name itself is so boring. We are so used to owning people like Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Kevin De Bruyne, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Joe Linton. That's such a boring name itself. I'm not sure. His name doesn't have it doesn't make you thirsty to own him. So, but I think you could be right. I think
you get some points, Glen.
So I've just received a message from my dad who's watching the live stream at the moment, and he said Pepe's rubbish to begin with. So Glen, he just Joe Linton, mahahahaha. So obviously. He doesn't approve of your picks. I think
doesn't your dad have Firmino in his team, so he can't be laughing too much.
He might still do. So I'll let him simmer down, and
Well, Dave.
We'll move on to the differential pick of the week before it gets too controversial, I reckon.
Right, yeah. So we'll move on to fixture rundown. We're looking ahead, obviously, just to the midweek fixtures. We'll do another video for the weekend ahead. Too many games going on for one video. Glenn, who are you targeting? Any teams that you think, all right, I need to play this player against them? What do you think of these fixtures going ahead?
As many Southampton players as we can get against Arsenal. City against West Brom. I mean, it is so obvious. We've talked about De Bruyne and players like that, and the likes of Bernardo Silva. So the City fixture is the first one. I know I've told Ben Mahrez is going to be rotated this week, and I'm expecting someone like Ruben Diaz to be rotated this week. So Laporte was on the bench for the last game. So if you're thinking to have a City defender, I think Laporte is the guy. I think he'll start this week. I also think Ake will start this week. And I think Bernardo Silva and Ferran Torres will start this week. So if I had an extra sub, I'd probably have a punt on Laporte. But for me, Bernardo Silva, Torres, De Bruyne, Sterling will be benched probably again against West Brom. That is the number one fixture, obviously. The second fixture, Fulham and Brighton. All of a sudden, the likes of Lookman and Welbeck are looking very interesting to own. I would like to see how they perform in this game, both of them, Lookman and Welbeck. I think this could be the game for them to both score. And then probably Aston Villa and Burnley. Now, this is where you'll see the difference between Aston Villa and Arsenal. We had no chance against Burnley, but I feel like they'll get like 3 or 4 goals past Burnley, and Grealish and Watkins will be part of it. So for me, Grealish, owning him, I'm interested to see how he plays, and I have Torres and Bernardo Silva really deeply playing that Pep roulette deeply. I'm going with the 2 players who don't even usually start. So City, West Brom, Fulham, Brighton, Aston Villa, Burnley.
Yeah, there's a nice pick, defo.
Charlie in the comments giving his score prediction of the Southampton Arsenal game. He said 4-0. I mean,
anything can happen at the minute.
Yeah, it could happen in the. At least I have Vestergaard for it this time round.
It's got that bad. His FPL means more. Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, Ben, what are you saying? What fixtures, other than the obvious, like Man City and Man United ones?
There's an obvious City and United games to look out for. I think in terms of assets, I'm probably looking at the Southampton game because I've got two of them probably playing. The Liverpool-Tottenham game is one that is going to be very intriguing. I don't know whether I see many goals in this, but like games between the top 6 hasn't had too many goals in it in recent years, I'd say. So it'll be interesting to see. I think there will be a goal or 2 in it, and it just depends which one of my 3 assets that I've got from those teams returns. So I'm hoping for 1 return out of Salah, Kane, and Son. And yeah, but other than that, few difficult fixtures here and there. Maybe West Ham, Crystal Palace for Cresswell. But yeah, Josh, what do you reckon?
Yeah, for me, I think the one that we haven't mentioned is the Leeds-Newcastle game. I think that one's got a lot of goals in it. Don't be surprised if you see a few goals flying there. Leeds, very poor defense. Like a lot of people hop on the Leeds. Like I know you have, Ben. You've got Dallas in. Obviously, more so for the attack and returns than the defensive. But defensively, they're very poor. They seem to leak a lot of goals in. So keep an eye out for that. And same with Newcastle. They've not been defensively strong this season. I hope that Bamford can return. I know that Callum Wilson might too. So yeah, both of them.
Very interesting indeed. Right, so I'm just going to mute myself because I can hear a little bit of sound. Right, can you still hear it?
No, I can't see any sound.
I can still. Glenn,
I can hear a little bit.
Glenn, mute yourself quickly, and then I'll mute yourself, and we'll see if that fixes the problem.
Okay. I'm back now.
Okay. Seems to have fixed itself now.
Yeah. One of those issues, isn't it, on the live? Sometimes happens.
Yeah, it's a lot. First time.
StreamYard especially. It's hard, believe me. I struggled for the last 2 months.
Right, so we're going into the FPL Graduates mini league. Manager of the week. I personally haven't actually looked at who the manager of the week is, but we can have a look at who's topping the league table. Should we do that?
Yeah, I'll grab it up now. I haven't looked either, but it's always so tight. Like nearly every single week, there is a new leader. And I know I'm not at the top, that's for sure. I'm 310th. I'm letting myself down right now. Yeah,
so as you can see here, I'll just zoom this in a little bit more for you. New leader is Tommy McDermott, and his team name is Absolute Quality. Mike Dean's Beard. What a name. We'll click onto this and we'll see what his team's looking like. 59 points this week, not too many, but above average. Josh, what do you make of that?
Yeah, he's got some decent players. Obviously, not the best week, but if you look at his bench, I think you need to scroll down to his bench to show everyone, because look at the amount of points on his bench. 11 from Martinez, 5 from Concert, 7 from Romeu. That is ridiculous. He's got, what, 23 points on his bench? It's mental. Obviously, he has a double up of Liverpool defence, which is very interesting, considering a lot of people have steered away from that because of obviously not really playing as well. But he's got the ones that just tick over every single week, it seems. The Harry Kane, the Son, the DCL, the Bamford, Salah. He's got all the usual suspects. No Bruno or KDB. So it'll be very interesting to see who he captains going into next week.
Yeah, it's an interesting team. Glenn, what do you make of that?
Oriol Romeu is in his team and he's fast. I don't even actually understand that. But I would like to. Could you go to the previous game week for him, game week 11? Because I'm interested to see like which other players he had. Like I don't know.
He got 90 points last game.
Points. And he had Salah captain. So it looks like his captain chances are working, but and his bench is like, as Joshua said, like his bench is still returning. I'm liking the obvious Salah, Pick and Son. You just have the obvious. Don't be too clever. I'm liking the both of them. Obviously, it looks like he had Mahrez as a differential a couple of weeks ago with a hat trick, maybe. Calvert-Lewin, Robertson, obviously. Also surprised that he has a double up on Liverpool's defense, but I actually don't see maybe Salah, Son, and Kane. But for the others, Calvert-Lewin has blanked a couple of times, if I'm not wrong. Bamford has blanked a couple of times at home. Walker Peters and McCarthy maybe with the clean sheets double up helping him. James Cresswell, I had him for 2 weeks. He blanked in both, so I don't know. Maybe he's using cheat codes or something, but I think his team is quite nice. But obviously, it looks like his captain choices are working definitely.
Yeah, Josh, have we found out who the manager of the week is? Have we found that out?
I haven't. I'm sure it'll be someone near the top. If you just find like someone near the top, I'm sure it'll be fine. Because no one near me is getting high points totals. That's for sure.
We've got an 8.
It could be moving from 350th to 300 with like 100 points or something. Have a big hole.
Yeah.
Should we have a look at this number 35? He's got 87.
Yeah, go for it. I'll see if I find anything bigger whilst you're on it.
So this guy's team, wow, look at that defense. That is incredible.
Jeez, that is mental. He's only nearly 40 points from his defenders.
Yeah, that's wow. And 0 players on the bench, so that's quite lucky. Romeo must have come in as a sub, I assume. But wow, that is some game week there.
He tripled up on Southampton.
He did. I don't imagine that Romeo would have been starting for him in the game week, which is interesting. And he's got a lot of injuries and stuff in his team, but that's quite something else, isn't it? It really is.
Yeah, I think he's the highest. I haven't found one higher than what you said. So fair play to him. I think a Southampton triple up is almost a necessity at this stage. They're playing so well. And for the amount of money you can get them for, it's like a no-brainer.
Yeah,
they're playing Arsenal.
Even better.
All right, should we wrap it up? We've been going nearly 50 minutes. It's been a long live stream. Thank you for watching. Glenn, thank you for coming on again. I hope you enjoyed yourself. And maybe come back, improve on the old knowledge, and get some high scores next time.
I think I need to, and you guys need to do more live streams. I always enjoy watching you, so make sure you do more live streams, like maybe from like later in the month or next year or something. No problem.
Yeah, so
awesome.
Make sure you like the video, comment, share this about. I imagine this will be turned into a video after it's this live's finished. So yeah, I've been Ben.
I've been Josh.
And I've been Glenn.
And we'll see you
later. Have a good night, boys.